Hi, so my name is Jason. I'm the be your counselor for today. We have a couple of sessions. Within each session should be about maximum of 20 minutes. If you at any point you want to cut the session short or you want to have extended sessions, we can talk about that in the second session. But before we move forward and get started, I have to introduce the statement of confidentiality, saying if should you talk about harming yourself or others, hopefully not me or
Mm-hmm.
anything drastic, then I would have to you know, talk to the proper authorities. If not, then everything that we talk about stays within the session.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything, and you have any questions about anything or
No, not about the
nothing, right?
confidentiality.
Okay, so is there anything specific that brought you in today or?
Well, can you tell me a little background about yourself? And
I've worked well, actually, I'm just new to counseling. I'm a
mm-hmm.
student, but I also work as an assistant to counseling and just studying and certain techniques that other counselors use. There's no information. So although I'm in the field, I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I came here today because I've experienced a little bit of anxiety, panic over the fact that this is my first time taking 3 classes this semester. I've been in grad school for about a year and a half now, and I've only taken 2 classes here, 2 classes there to kind of get myself acclimated to the process. And now I'm taking 3 classes, 2 of which are with Professor Wally, who has a reputation of being very uh, strict about her rules and very, thorough in her teaching.
Hmm.
And I'm also taking another class with another professor who happens to be a Wally mentee. So I feel like
Okay.
I'm getting 3 Wallies. I have 2 classes with her, one online, one in face, and then another class with another. So I'm kind of concerned about my ability to maintain it all because I am an older grad student. I've did my undergrad several years ago. I'm making this transition into this new career, and it's important for me to um, be successful in my classes. And my level of success is no less than an A. I feel like if I get anything less than an A, then I'm doing myself a disservice. I'm wasting my money, and because I'm paying for school myself, I'd be wasting my money if I got anything less than an A, and that I was admitted in on contingency because my undergraduate GPA wasn't so strong.
Mm.
So in order for me to maintain matriculation, I know that I have to have at least a B to continue on.
Right.
But because they're asking for a B, I feel I have to give them an A. I feel like I always have to kind of overshoot it just to give myself a little bit of cushion.
So just to get an understanding, just so I can see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just the load; it's the load, which is part of it, but also the professors you feel are very stringent, and been having a large load and having professors that are very rigid kind of adds to it
Yes.
because you figure you may or may not get any leeway, and also because you're a person from what came from you, you're a person who's an overachiever, which is not a bad thing. You just so I got to get this right because I have more than you have more than what you're used to,
Mm-hmm.
and plus, and you used to being able to maintain a certain level, and you're concerned that you may or may not be able to maintain that academic excellence because you have an extra load and you have professors that you know have a reputation.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I'm looking forward to my classes. I mean, I understand that the professors, they're very thorough, which is a good thing because I feel the more thorough you are, the more you're going to learn.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I know I will learn more. I'm going to continue to learn more, but it's just that while being in the process of it, looking at the syllabus and going through it, I see how it can overwhelm me because I'm seeing I got this paper here to do, this paper, this one 15 pages, this paper is 10 pages, and it's all within the same time period. And I'm just concerned about me maintaining that, maintaining a household, working, and, also just living life. And I, be honest with you, I feel some sort of, I feel a little anxious about it. And I want to be able to be able to accept it, digest it, take a task one by one without overwhelming myself. And I just wanted to come here and talk to you about maybe strategies to help me feel less overwhelmed. And classes just started, so I want to implement strategies now that can kind of usurp that.
But what were some of the things you did when you had the slightly lighter class load?
Mm-hmm.
So with those things that you did, is you may have to make adjustments, but basically whatever you did, you should have to continue to just do that, but just turn up a little bit. You know how to do them because you've done them. You just gotta, whatever you implemented, just implement the same thing.
So what I did was, I have this philosophy where it's like they say, how do you eat an elephant? If you had an elephant, how do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite, right? That's the only way to eat it. So what I did was just look at the assignment, one assignment at a time, not looking at the longevity of it and seeing what's due. I just took everything week by week, assignment by assignment, and just checked it off and ticked it off and ticked it off. And then later on, just staying consistent, moving on. And I was successful. Like so far, I've only gotten A's, and I'm not looking to receive anything less than that. But that's what I was doing in the past, just kind of just like taking it day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. But I'm just nervous. In all honesty, I'm nervous that it's all going to come down to me at one. And one thing I noticed is that I don't know if I work better under pressure, but I do have a tendency to procrastinate. And I do procrastinate, and I get down to like maybe the final wire, and here I am 3 days before a paper's due, and I'm banging out a 10, 15-page paper, and I get an A on it. I get a full credit on it, but I want to figure out how I cannot put that much pressure on myself, and how I can just do things day in, day, and not wait to the final, the witching hour to get it done.
You kind of give yourself the answer. Like, I'm not going to try to solve the problem, but you pretty much have it. You just got to know you have it. Like,
Right.
Like a few moments ago, you said, take it bite by bite. That's your own. It's kind of like it seems to me. You know what needs to be done. It's just a matter of you just want to make sure you're consistent and diligent about keep doing it.
Right.
And the anxiety that you're feeling, that happens.
Okay.
That makes us human beings.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you're aware of it, that's gonna help you get through it. And the fact that you already know what you need to do, is just the harder part is just committing to doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without the distractions. This summer I took 2 classes, and then after I took my 2 classes, I had to take another certification test that would allow me to substitute in the school system for the 2018-2019 academic year. And when you are a substitute and you sub for more than 40 days in the school system, they want you to take classes that are pedagogy studies. So it's like my counseling classes didn't suffice for the requirement that I needed. It had to be classroom management, working with children, that kind of thing. So I found that out in like mid-July, and then I had until August 22nd to take this test that was like 6 credits long, and it was worth 6 credits, that's all I needed, but it just really overwhelmed me. And thankfully, with proper studying and everything, I passed the test, and then I was able to certify. But it really just gave me a bunch of emotion and a bunch of anxiety, and I was really stressed out about it because it felt like there was a monkey that was sitting on my shoulders, and it was like do or die. It's like, if I did not pass this test, I would not be able to sub. If I'm not able to sub, I'm not able to work. If I'm not able to work, then I can't pay these bills and I can't take care of this. So it was a bunch of pressure, and that's how I'm feeling now, because I have a certain period of time of when I want to graduate. I have certain things lined up, internships and things, and it's kind of like, I have no choice but to bang out these 3 classes and make it happen. And there's like, everything is so timed, everything is so, scheduled. And if you don't take this class now, you're gonna have to recycle all over again. So it's like, there's a piece of pressure on me. It's like, this is do or die. Like, you have to get in and do it. And now I'm like, oh my God, I got 3 classes this time. And
So just to get you again, just to make sure we on the same page.
mm-hmm.
So it's not so much just. So really, it's not just the schoolwork. It's not so much the schoolwork. It's also the things outside of school that add to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, not that you seem like you have a grasp on the information on assignments. It's just that you're concerned that you may not have. You have a condensed amount of time to get everything done with the licenses and exams and projects and things like that.
Yes.
So,
And that.
just to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the licenses, the test that you need to take for the license,
Mm-hmm.
is that with it that comes after the semester, or you got to take that before the semester's over?
Well, the license that I took to sub, that's taken care of.
Okay.
That was taken care of in August, which allowed me to start working, as school started a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to, work within that. So there's anxiety within that because I'm not necessarily at one particular school. So, when you sub, you kind of take assignments as they become available.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, they've been calling me, and I anticipate a full year of working, but I feel like I work better if I'm in one set environment where I know what to expect throughout the whole year, as opposed to I'm hopping from different school to different school, learning different people.
To not knowing what school you're going to next adds to the anxiety.
Yes, not knowing going to the school about the anxiety. And the phone calls keep coming in. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of work to be had. But at the same time, it was different last year because I was in a school. I knew where I could squirrel away to study. I knew where I could squirrel away to type out a paper if I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be afforded that luxury this year.
Mm.
So
there's a lot of uncertainties that add to what you need to do,
mm-hmm.
but then just knowing how you're gonna get it done is
that's
it's
the
a whole
part.
nother-
Yeah.
Got you. Well, I mean, there's a lot to tackle, but it goes back to the basics. What you've said. Oh, I gotta stop.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to what you said. Take it piece by piece, bit by bit.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you can manage, you already have a grasp on how to manage it. Just keep doing what you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing, the you not knowing what school you're gonna go to next, that's something you just gotta take some quiet moments and just say, you know what, tell yourself, I'm just gonna just work it. And then as you get to, I can't tell you what to do because every school is different, every administrator is different, but whichever school you do go to, you got to figure out, okay, what works for that setting in that setting.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to know, like you said, you're not going to know in advance because you don't know where you're going until they call you that morning.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to whatever environment, then that's when you learn, okay, now it's crunch time, whatever they need this, they need that, and just make that adjustment, which is not easy. All you can do as human beings, whatever we go for what we know, whatever we know how to do, we just do that, and then whatever comes, curveballs are going to come, we just try to dodge them and catch them as best as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another thing I wanted to do, I mean, I know the session's not over yet, but before I forget, to the next session, I want you to reflect on the things that you know you've done before this semester
Mm-hmm.
that you know that worked well for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then also ask yourself, okay, did you come to this point because you just always were this way, or did you develop certain skills over a period of time?
Mm-hmm.
But that's something to think about for the next session. You know,
Mm-hmm.
along with can't really throw too much at you,
Right.
but just like piece by piece. That's the theme for the session, piece by piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now outside, you mentioned school,
Yeah.
you mentioned work.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a third thing that adds to it, or those are pretty much the main two things that's getting you going and that's on your mind as of late?
Well, I have a child. She's in middle school. She's in 8th grade, and there's another level of, I don't want to. I'm trying not to get away from the word anxiety because that does, just using the word anxiety brings up anxiety. So there's another layer of it, and now it's the process of trying to get her into high school. That process starts in 8th grade. So it's going to the different schools, meeting with the different open houses, going through the application process, making sure that she's on task to take her specialized. She's taken a couple of tests, and she's also just, applying to different high schools. She has essays to write. She has this. She's in karate. She's in track. She's doing all these other things. So I'm concerned about taking so much time for myself, so much that I'm neglecting what she has to do, because I have to help her navigate this. I have to help her get her footing on so that she gets into the high school that she wants to go to, and then she can. So while she's in school, I'm in school. While she's doing things, I'm doing things, and I can't necessarily drive her to practice the way I used to. I can't get her to karate and all this. She has to now be independent and get herself there, and she's been doing it. It's just that I kind of almost feel like I'm missing out on a lot of things that I used to be involved in, because I'm now in a situation to where I've changed my career and everything is a little bit different than it once was. And I feel that I might be missing out on things that, I was more so involved in.
So keeping her on task, in a way, is also keeping you on task.
Right.
Because as a mother, as a parent, or as you know, okay, if I'm able to, you're actually, by you helping your daughter, you're helping yourself, because you figure, okay, if I want her to be in such and such a way, I have to model this for her.
Mm-hmm.
So then she develops the skills that mommy has. Have me, stay on point, make sure that you don't do things in a timely fashion if possible, and all the things that you mentioned, because I don't want to sound repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
But by you're unknowingly, you probably do know, showing her how to manage her time, how to manage just certain skills,
Mm-hmm.
and that's helping you to maintain and sharpen your skills.
Right.
Because you know what you need to do, you know how to get her to do what she needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
And parents are the first teachers.
Right. Okay. So aside from that, that's all I really wanted to know. I kind of like you pointed out, I have the skills that I've been using. I just want to find ways to manage it so that I'm not overwhelmed and I feel like it's too much. And sometimes when you feel overwhelmed and you look at so many things down the road, you get so stuck and you do absolutely nothing. And I don't want to get to the point where I'm just so completely overwhelmed by everything. I'm just like exasperated, throw my hands up and be like, oh, to hell with it, and then do nothing, because nothing is not an option.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wanted to come here and maybe get some insight from you. But
Piece by piece, you can't eat a pancake in one swallow, unless you got a very big mouth and a very big appetite.
Right.
It's piece by piece, slice by slice.
Yeah.
That's that's. I mean, session's about to come to a close, and just do what you've been doing, but then also, like I said before, reflect on what got you to that point, and also how you use that to help your daughter. And it was a third statement in there. Oh yeah, and reflect on what point in your life did you always have these skills? At some point, did you acquire them? Because once you know how you got to this point, it'll push you to get further, and it'll help her to get to where you are and get further. Sometimes when you help other people, you help yourself.
Very true. Very true.
You helping me right now. Whether we realize it or not.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to take those and think about some of the things that have gotten me to where I am right now. Because I know there's something that's got me there, but sometimes I get caught up in the minutia of it, like the little, the micro of it. I never get to see the whole macro of it, because I'm always stuck in the micro little, cosms of how I got there and this, and then it's difficult for me to step back and take a look at the big picture. Like, dude, you were hella successful. Like, you got this done, it's happened. But I'm always in the moment of, can I do it, can I do it, can I do it? And I get it done. And then I sit back like, wow, you really did it. And then there's always something else like, okay, I'm back at it. It's like a constant cycle. So that's pretty much where I am with it. But I definitely will come back to the session with some thoughts on how I got to where I am now and what has made me successful so far.
Once you got the blueprint, you just use it. That's just I don't want to sound like a commercial and say just do it, but basically just commit. You know what you need to do,
Mm,
and just reflect on how you got it done, and just keep getting it done.
yeah.
And it was a wonderful session. I've been look forward to seeing you more often, and nice to have you.
Okay, thank you.